Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the NBA's new program, All Around Newtown. My name is Matt Peters, and I'll be your host today. Today on All Around Newtown, we have NBA member Kelsey Jordan, the owner of KGD Films, doing a wonderful topic on using video to tell a story. So Kelsey, to give you a little bit of a background, Kelsey has been an instrumental member of all of the amazing things coming out of the Emerging Leaders Committee this year. All of the video editing on these All Around Newtown episodes has been done by Kelsey, and she's done a tremendous job with them. Kelsey also did a lot of work with the NBA's Virtual Expo, and also earlier in the year, we had a virtual scavenger hunt called Surfin' NBA, and she put in a lot of work behind the scenes to get that together. So it's no surprise that when the NBA board elections came up, that Kelsey found herself elected to the 2021 Newtown Business Association Board of Directors. So congratulations to you, Kelsey, for winning a board seat for the upcoming year. I know you're going to do wonderful things on the board and bring a whole new energy and perspective and expertise to the board, and we're all excited to see what you're going to accomplish in the upcoming year. So without further ado, I'm not an expert on using video to tell a story. That's Kelsey's department. My area is lawn care, as you could see. So I'm going to get out of the way here and let Kelsey talk to you about using video to tell your story. So here we are, Kelsey Jordan of KGD Films.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Kelsey Jordan. I own and operate KGD Films here in Newtown, Pennsylvania. Today, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the medium of video and how to storytell through video. So today's topic is really more of a coaching session geared towards the small business owners, marketers, and entrepreneurs that operate businesses or work for businesses in the Newtown area and our Newtown Business Association members. So if that kind of describes you and video is something you've been looking to create a bit more of for your business, then I encourage you to check out this week's edition of All Around Newtown. So let's get started. Today, really, we're going to focus on storytelling, not so much how to create a video or the right lighting or the right audio or the equipment. It's about making sure that the video is interesting enough that people will actually watch it through to the end, which is very tricky to do. And honestly, based on many statistics I see on YouTube videos, Facebook videos, in this world we live in, people don't finish videos. So you really have to get your point across quickly. You need to get it across clearly. You need to educate them, entertain them, whatever it takes to get your message across. And it all really circles back to telling a story. If you don't tell a story with a beginning, a middle, and an end, then what's the point of watching? So this is why, we're seeing kind of in the marketing world that it's not so much about putting out a commercial anymore. It's more so putting out sponsored content that involves a story. Seeing the product in action, hearing from a customer. It's time really to get creative because we are all so overwhelmed with video ads on social media, on TV, in our email inboxes. You have to stand out. So this comes to one of the biggest hurdles that I encounter with small business owners when I'm working with them to create video content. Many don't know what to talk about. Forget stage fright, forget not being comfortable being on video. It's what do I even talk about on camera? That's what I want to kind of dive into today. And I've got kind of one little easy trick to immediately come up with a few simple videos that you can put straight away on a YouTube channel, on social media platforms, in your email signature, and right on your website. So as I said before, every single video, from TikToks to your brand videos on your homepage, need to tell a story. They need to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. The easiest way to do this is to answer a question. The easiest questions to answer as a small business owner are your frequently asked questions. Questions that you can answer in your sleep, that you hear 3 times a day from customers, that you've rewritten over and over and over in emails. You may even have templates of them saved in your drafts because you don't feel like typing them. Those questions, that's what I want you to brainstorm after this talk today. Come up with that list, and there you go. There's your topics for your first videos. You may even just have them in your head. You may not have them written down anywhere. Well, this is the perfect time to not only write down the answers to those FAQs, but also to record them in video format. So this, and I want to just quickly jump in here too to say, it can be very overwhelming to open up new social media accounts, to feel like you need to have several of them. If you have one that's working for you, that's great, stick with it. But I do want to recommend that if you don't have a YouTube account already, this is also a great time to set one up, because you're going to need a way to host videos on your website, a platform that can be embedded onto your website. YouTube is just, a really great standard, industry standard for that. Plus just the SEO benefits of, Google and YouTube's relationship are incredibly helpful. Two, the biggest reason I hear people don't want to start a YouTube channel is because they don't know if they can keep up with the need for content. Well, we're sitting here to make a list of content right now. So even if it's 3 videos, 2 videos, you're putting a couple up, that's a great start to a channel. YouTube's not something where you have to update it constantly. So, it'd be great if you did, but get a couple up there, at least just so you can embed things on your website, or you can have a link you can use in emails. And obviously, if you use other social media channels, by all means, post these videos there as well. So I'd like to kind of dive in here and go through 5 examples of what I think are relatively common FAQs that many businesses run into in all different areas of expertise. So the first one I'd like to jump in on is return and cancellation policies. Now, if you have a retail store, or even if you're a service-based provider, maybe you use deposits, maybe you have cancellation policies. These are things that you're going to get asked time and time again. How do I get my money back if X? How do I return Y? What if I'm not happy with the product? And generally, this is sort of a negative topic for business owners. So using video to answer this question positively is a great way to actually turn kind of a negative question into a really positive thing, to show that you're more than happy to provide the answers, to make the guidelines crystal clear. And it also helps you because once again, you've outlined your policies. So customers have them readily available and hopefully will adhere to those guidelines. So let's talk about how to kind of create that video. What is the beginning, the middle, and the end? I'd really like you as the enforcer, either the owner of the business or you are in a position of power at the company, sit down in front of a camera, even if it's your iPhone or a recording a Zoom, and outline the policy. Make sure that you also take time to explain why. Maybe there's if you're food-based, maybe it's an expiration date. Maybe if you're a retailer with clothing, maybe the clothing designers only take their clothes back from you in a certain amount of time. And you'll be, I think, very pleasantly surprised how effective that is to let your customer know why your policies are in place, because they will then respect them. And all it really took was your face, a human face, letting them know why these policies are in place. And it just creates a more human reason. It's not just a small blurb of text at the front cash register that they, kind of half read and move on. So that's number 1 here is the return and cancellation policies FAQ video. The other nice thing I forgot to point out earlier is that with these videos, I really think they're a great tool to cut down on the time you take to answer some of these questions. So if somebody emails you and says, hey, what's your return policy? You still absolutely want to personalize your note, your email back to them and say, hey, thanks for reaching out. We really appreciate your business. We'd like to make sure that you get the item that works for you. You can review our return and cancellation policies here and leave them the link. And now you don't have to type it out. You don't have to copy and paste. You have a little video link that's easily clickable, and they'll get to hear from you personally with your face. I just think that brings a lot of power behind the words. Let's move into common FAQ video question number 2, which is all about you and your credentials. Why should people buy from you, listen to you, want to meet with you? So here's a great opportunity to humble brag a little bit. Don't go too far. the videos should be short. This one of all the videos should be the shortest. And I should mention they all really should be short. I would say, unless you have a very complicated answer to one of these, they should all be under 2 minutes, if not under 1 minute. And this one definitely under 60 seconds, because the longer you talk about yourself, that humble brag just turns into a brag. So, but people do want to know, if you own a dry cleaning company, dry cleaners, talk about why. Is it a family business that's been handed down through generations? Is it something you were always passionate about? Why do you enjoy it? What have you learned over the years? What special techniques do you use? Did you go to, particular classes for that? Let people know why you are the leader in your industry. Give them that answer. And it's a great tool, if you are asked to speak or somebody needs to know a little bit more about you in the networking business development sense. You have a great little finished piece that you can send right over to them. You don't have to think, it's done. So that's a second one that I definitely recommend you take the time to create. And again, these don't have to be fancy. Obviously, what I do for a living, I make a slightly more high-end edited pieces together, but you can do what I'm doing right now. I'm shooting this on my iPhone with a small stand, and just make sure you're in a quiet room. And that'll work well too. I mean, I think really the no pun intended, but the face value of having your face visible is important. It holds a lot of value. So I can't say that enough, just as much as you don't want to put yourself on camera. Number 3 here, another common FAQ is, where are you located? Now, you could simply answer this question by replying your address, your store's address. But why not put together a fun video talking about the area around where you are? I mean, I'm sure people who are either renting or have purchased office space are very proud of that space. That's a major accomplishment depending on the size of your company or building. You may have several locations, and it could be confusing to people which location they're supposed to meet you at or what goes on at each specific location. So take the time to answer those questions. Take little videos. Again, it could be a cell phone. You could hire a videography company. I know there are several in the NBA who can take footage of the exteriors of your storefront, the interiors, what the parking looks like, maybe some landscaping that you've had done, making sure it's on a bright, sunny, beautiful day. Just make that answer a little bit more interesting so that when people can say, hey, where are you located? You can say 123 Main Street, but also here's a quick video about where we are if it helps you, place it in your mental map. It's just a little special added touch that I think could be incredibly valuable, and it's the easiest question in the world to answer. Number 4, testimonials. Now, these are amazing if you can get them. I highly recommend you get them, video testimonials. I know they are uncomfortable to ask for some people because they don't like to bother their customers with a favor, but it's incredibly valuable. As I said earlier, speaking about, you getting to humble brag about yourself in the your credentials video, number 2. This one, imagine if somebody else bragged about you for you. As another customer watching, that's so much more valuable to me. Think about reading reviews of items online. I would trust, Sally from Missouri and her review, over the company just telling me what they think about their product. So it's the same deal here. See if you can get a customer of yours to grab their cell phone, grab a camera, and record a short review about why they love your store, why they love you, why they continue to come back, why they tell their neighbors about you. That's such an invaluable piece, and that can be repurposed over time, which is also great. If you decide to do if you start enjoying making these videos and you just decide to make some bigger ones, that's a great element. Or maybe you take their best line that they said about you and incorporate that into a grander video. So that's one you have to have if you can get it. And in a perfect world, I'd recommend having 2 to 3 testimonial videos. Like I said, they're incredibly valuable. And that's one that I would also recommend putting in your email signature if that's something that pertains to your line of business. I've seen it a lot of times. It always piques my interest when you see, name, email, cell phone, the company logo, but then they also have a link to a video, and it's something you might click on, something you might not, but if you do, you learn something great about that company, and it's extra kind of special and sets you apart. So finally, the fifth FAQ I'd like to go through is, how should people get in touch with you? How should they interact with you? I mentioned before, it's so difficult to be on all these different social media platforms, to keep up with email, to keep your website updated, to keep up your brand new YouTube channel that you've now started. Where do you want people to reach out to you? How do you want them to contact you? Is it via phone call? Like that is the easiest thing for you to maintain and answer quickly. Do you sell quite regularly on Instagram through DMs? And that's what you're on all day. Let people know, because I think that that helps clarify for people the best way to shop, learn more, get in touch. This is another one where, just like your location, the video doesn't have to be on your face the whole time. This can simply be a screen recording of the contact form on your website and what you want to know when they fill it out, or a screen recording of you could kind of fake a little back and forth on Instagram DMs on, if you're selling t-shirts through Instagram, what information do you need? Size and color? Where do they want it sent? How do they want to pay? How does that interaction go? Explain to them exactly how to buy your product or to meet with you or sign up for your services, so that when the time comes that they're ready to sign up for your services, they know exactly what to do. Make sure you firm that up through social media as well. Keep repeating that message, not only in this video, but throughout your posts and throughout your emails and on your website. Make it very clear. So those are 5. Once again, I'll just run through them. It's your return and cancellation policies, your credentials, your humble brag video, where you're located, testimonials, and finally how your customers should interact with you. So those 5, they're very broad. Obviously, I tried to pick 5 that could potentially pertain to any style any style company. Whether you have 6 branches of a bank, all the way down to you sell something from home. You can answer, for the most part, those questions. But I highly recommend that on top of those, or in place of those, you choose topics that are very specific to what you do. I'll just give you an example for myself. When shooting video, they may want to know how many people are in a crew. How much equipment am I going to expect to show up when a video shoot starts? Those types of things. Answer those questions, or even if parking is particularly difficult at your location, tell people where the top best parking spots in the area are. If they need to bring paperwork to the office before they see a specialist, or come use your services for the first time, where can they find that paperwork? When does it need to be filled out by, and how do they return it? Can they scan it? Can they email it? Do they need to bring in hard copies? Do they need a copy? These are things that make it just one little step easier for your customers to pay you. To pay you for your services. Is if you just make it a little bit easier for them and explain it, I think it really can help increase, turnover and sales. So these are just, again, like I said, 5 examples, but I encourage you to try and record your first FAQ video in the coming weeks. It's a great way to start off the new year, maybe with a little website refresh. You add a few fresh videos on, you have some nice content for your email newsletters, for your social media after, a crazy few weeks of the holidays. So, something I'd really be interested in, and feel free to list them in the comment section below this video, is what are your most often asked questions? What are your FAQs? What do you hear all the time? Maybe we can have a little bit of a discussion in the comment section about what those are, and some people may have suggestions on creative ways to answer those questions. So I'd love to hear that. And I'd also love to hear from you if you have any further questions on how to make these videos, or topics that are specific to you if you have a very uncommon way of doing business and you need a little bit of additional assistance there. So Thanks so much for having me on today on All Around Newtown. Matt, very much. I appreciate it. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. And finally, you can contact me via email, Kelsey, Kelsey, at kgdfilms.com for more information and any further questions about today's presentation. So thanks again and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you, Kelsey, for that amazing talk. Next week on December 17th on All Around Newtown, we'll be doing a holiday shopping special where we'll be featuring more NBA local businesses, and we'll be talking more about why you need to shop local. And we may even have some special holiday shopping deals to announce next week on All Around Newtown. So we do these videos every single week. This is a weekly series that's going to continue on into the new year. If you, yes, I'm talking to you there watching, if you, an NBA member, wants to be on a future episode of All Around Newtown, if you would like your own All Around Newtown episode, please email me. My email address is matt.peters@weedmanusa.com. And if you simply just send me an email, we can start a conversation, figure out when the best time for you to present would be, and I'll bring you up to speed on our SOPs, our standard operating procedures for All Around Newtown, and try and give you as much guidance as I can if you need any on your topic. And then we could have you presenting your own episode of All Around Newtown. It is something that's a benefit of being an NBA member. So if you're watching this and you're not an NBA member, now's the time to sign up. Our memberships in the NBA are very economical, and me personally, Matt Peters is owner of Weedman here. I've been a member of the NBA since 2016. And their community events such as Welcome Day and the NBA Business Expo, along with the holiday parade and many other events that they do, like the car show and their business card exchanges and the morning breakfast meetings, have been a tremendous supplement to the marketing programs that I have in place here and have allowed me to interact with and grow with my community. So it's really an invaluable organization membership that you should sign up for today if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur in the Newtown area. So once again, Matt Peters signing off here for All Around Newtown. We'll see you next week on December 17th. Take care.